Now, granted, my hair is really dirty right now, but this is kind of cute to me. Put some earrings in. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Stella Light, and today I'm going to be talking about OCD, my struggles with OCD, my story with OCD, and something called NOCD. So NOCD, which is an OCD therapy company, reached out to me to sponsor this video. They wanted me to share my story with OCD and how NOCD and different therapies have helped me over the years. And at first I was literally like, no, I literally almost emailed back and was like, hi, no thank you, like I'm not really interested, just because the idea of talking about my OCD set me off. I was like, I don't want to talk about that. Not that it's a secret or anything, but it's just something that I was, not ready to share about necessarily, or quote unquote not ready to share about, but I am, and I am very open about so many things, and I thought, why should I not be open about my OCD? I've struggled with OCD, I've struggled with anxiety disorders my entire life, and just now as a young adult have come to understand them and understand what has helped me to heal them, learn to love them almost, and learn to understand that they are just a part of who I am. My OCD is not something that controls me. It can be intrusive for sure, but it's not going to control me. I do want to mention that everything is going to be time-stamped. There's this new thing where if you are on a desktop, I think only, you can kind of skip around and see which sections are time-stamped, but I'll also have everything time-stamped in the bio of the video. So either way, whether you do it in the time bar or down in the bio of this video, you can skip around to sections that you would rather hear about, sections you want to skip over, all that good stuff. You'll kind of be able to see what exactly the video entails. But basically, I'm going to be telling you about NOCD, the therapy that they provide, as well as what has worked for me and my story with OCD. So NOCD is unique in that it is not just therapy. You can actually get guidance outside of the therapy that they offer. So the therapy is amazing, but then outside of that, you get this whole realm of other resources from them that are just absolutely amazing. So of course you get live face-to-face therapy with their licensed therapists, and these licensed therapists are specialized in OCD. So you won't go to them and they won't say, oh, I specialize in, and name 15 things. They specialize in OCD. They're here to help you with OCD, and that to me is top notch, because OCD is something that's kind of hard to understand for some people. So when a therapist specializes directly in OCD, you know that they are on board with you, what's going on with you, and they are really going to dive deep to help you. So between these sessions, you get access to self-help tools, which will help you to every day be consistent with your efforts in healing. And then there's also a community of support on their mobile app. So you're able to actually track your progression on the app itself, and then you can share it with any healthcare provider that you choose. So of course, they're completely confidential, just like any other doctor or therapist out there. They're also really affordable. Most healthcare providers will cover them, but if not, they also have payment plans. So no matter what, they'll fit your budget. All right, so I'm going to start telling my story here. This might be a little bit of a struggle for me. Again, I feel overly nervous right now. I do not know why. So growing up, I always felt very different. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but I always knew, okay, this is basically it. I always knew something was wrong with me. I always felt inertly inside somewhere something was terribly wrong. Like something was bad about me, wrong with me. I wasn't the same as everyone else. And there was even a point where I made my mom take me to the doctors because I said, I'm sick. I'm really sick. Something is wrong with me. So of course she, to put my mind to rest, took me to the doctors. I got testing done and blood work and things like that. And she's like, no, you're healthy, you're fine. So, from a very young age, I was very sort of, I guess, in tune with what was going on in my head, but not in tune to the point where I understood what was going on. I felt these obsessive tendencies, and I felt very different, but I did not understand it. Now, something's in my eye. Now that I'm older and my family has sort of opened up a little bit about mental health in general, I have come to find that my dad's side of the family does suffer from OCD and anxiety disorders. And And I never knew this. I never even really knew that my dad suffered from them. Both of my parents are recovering addicts. And growing up, my dad was a very heavy addict, in and out of, since I can remember, up until about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, when he got sober for the last time. But that being said, I always thought he was just an addict. I did not know that it stemmed from his OCD and anxiety. Anyways, the point being that growing up, we didn't really talk about OCD. We never talked about what it was, why I felt the way I did. My dad never really discussed those kind of things with us, so I was sort of in the dark about that. Since I can remember. So I know a lot of people think that OCD is extreme cleanliness, extreme organization, weird things like that. And that could be for some people, and I'm sure it is for a lot of OCD people. Obsessive compulsive disorder can be so many different things. Again, from those cliche things like being super organized and obsessed with lining up things and cleaning things and whatever else the OCD tendencies people tend to think are normal. But what it really can be is just about anything. Any intrusive, obsessive thoughts or actions that you hold on to that you think if you don't do, something terrible is going to happen. Or it's almost like you don't have control over doing them. It's like you just do them, and it's just what it is, and they're the right thing to do, and you have to do them. And it's almost like somebody is telling you, like, do this right now, think this right now. And you can't stop it. And then you get even more amped up about it, and you're like, why can't I stop it? So it's this back and forth thing, or at least that's how it is for me. With rationally knowing that the things that I do and the tendencies I hold on to sometimes are not realistic. This could be the way that I react to certain things, thoughts that come into my head that are intrusive and obsessive, and then things that come out in real life. I have a very strange OCD habit with mold. So mold, thinking mold is going to grow on things that smell like mold, or they're going to grow mold and be moldy. So I will name a few. I'm not here to tell you guys anything that's going to make you want to I'm saying this, but I know you wouldn't make fun of me or think it's stupid or something. But okay, this is one thing that I do. My sheets in the morning, I have to roll them back and let the bed air out so that mold doesn't grow on my mattress, because I literally think mold is going to grow on my mattress, because I think your body gets hot at night, and then the moisture from your body is going to get into your sheets, and then the bed is going to get moldy. Putting cups upside down on the drainer, I can't really do that, or on a towel or something, because the moisture inside will grow mold. Just little weird things like that. When I rinse cups out in the sink, I rinse them out so many times that it literally doesn't make sense, because I think soap is going to get stuck in there, or food or something like that. I really won't let Damon clean a lot of the dishes. If he does clean them, I re-clean them, because I think he didn't do it right. I wash certain clothes twice because I think mold and stuff. Just a lot. There's a lot that goes on that I hold on to. Now, I will say this. For me specifically, it hasn't gotten to the point where I can't just let it go. I can just not rewash the dishes, and I've done it before. I can make my bed in the morning, and it's not going to control my day. But again, it's just little things like that, I think, that I hold on to. There's just things that I do a certain way. And what tends to happen with my OCD is that it gets worse when I'm tired, when I'm hungry, and when I'm stressed, which tends to be how it works for everyone. If you're not taking care of yourself on a deeper level, your OCD tends to get really, really crazy. So anyways, OCD can come out as a lot of different habits and things like that. For me, it's always been those type of things paired with intrusive thoughts about myself, intrusive thoughts about others, intrusive thoughts about things that I've done in the past, things that I will do in the future. It's like one-track mind, obsessive craziness that I'm And I know it though. In my head, I know for a fact that that is wrong. That's not how it works. But I still think it anyways. So as far as coping mechanisms with my OCD, I have always used crazy lifestyle choices, I think. I have always used my outward lifestyle and what I do day to day to take my mind off of my OCD and to kind of distract me. So in high school, it was an abusive relationship that I was in, just a very young abusive relationship that I became obsessed with, and it became my life, and they became my life, and it was like to the core of me, that was what I focused on. And it became extremely unhealthy. And to the point where I really didn't know who I was anymore. I switched from extreme lifestyle to extreme lifestyle, back to back to back, pretty much. So next, after high school, I got into heavier drugs. So in high school, I was always drinking because that was the norm. I didn't know then that I was going to have a problem with drinking. But I ended up going to a doctor after high school who did not talk to me whatsoever about my OCD. I just was telling him about my OCD and my anxiety, and they prescribed me something called, I'm not sure I'm gonna include the name of the drug in here because I don't know if it's gonna be triggering or if it's going to cause controversy or if I should be putting that in here. But I was put on this medicine blindly by this doctor because my older sister was taking the medicine. I was never told not to drink on this medicine. Never told that you will black out entirely on this medicine. So I was taking this medicine and I started drinking a lot more, blacking out. I started using heavier drugs, and within 4 months I was full-on drug addict, full-on alcoholic, and full-on abusing this medication, among other, pharmaceutical medications. And that lasted a pretty long time, and I ended up going to rehab twice and recovery houses and different programs and different things to try and help me. I did continue to drink after this, which was not ideal, of course, but I was then binge drinking. I then started to binge eat. Then I started to diet, so that was the next extreme lifestyle, was binge eating and dieting and heavy fitness. So became obsessed with that and became totally over the top with that, focused on that. And then, mental health was the worst it was ever in my entire life. And that is when I started to find the CBT, the cognitive behavioral therapy. I found CBT when I went plant-based. So that was my next extreme lifestyle change, but it was one that was so different for me. I found it and I said, I'm gonna try this because it seems like the right thing to do. It was a last-ditch effort for me. And I went plant-based vegan, and within, I would say, 3 months, I was in bliss. I was finally able to be myself and come to a point where I could start researching things and different therapies and actual help for my mental health. Because I had the energy, because I was finally not using drugs, I was finally sober, I was finally not, binge eating or restricting or working out. I stopped working out entirely to give myself a break because finally my head was so clear that I was like, oh, I need a break. That's what I need. That is what generally led me to finally getting myself the help that I needed and deserved. I never thought therapy was going to be a thing for me. I never thought that different CBT and ERP, all these different things, I never thought they were going to be a part of my lifestyle because I thought that's nonsense. Yoga? No. Stretching? No. Meditation? Oh my God, no. If you told me that I was going to be spending so much time in nature and doing yoga and that I was going to be a vegan before, when I was in my eating disorder, when I was in my abusive relationships, when I was a drug addict, I would have laughed in your face and been like, I don't go outside. A vegan, I'm gonna be a vegan. Okay. But nonetheless, I made it here to this point that I'm at now, and it has been years of healing, years of happiness, years of struggle. I still struggle, okay, but good struggle, struggling to make the next step towards healing and being in control and taking my life back and feeling like my OCD and my anxiety and any other mental health disruptor that goes on in my life isn't controlling me, that I am in control, and I'm the one who gets to make all of these decisions in life, everything from what I'm eating to how I'm healing to how I wear my hair to everything. I get to decide. And before, I was just very dependent on outside factors. I was dependent on the abusive relationship. I was dependent on the drugs. I was dependent on the heavy fitness. I was dependent on whatever I could use to not pay attention to myself, basically. That's basically what I'll call it. I was using different lifestyle choices to not pay attention to myself and what I needed and my healing. And that really hurt me long term. So it was as simple as saying I'm going to pay attention to myself. And something that I had to realize was you cannot do that alone. And I, for the longest time, was keeping these big secrets. Everything was a big secret. Every lifestyle I carried, I kept it secret. My abusive relationship, no, it wasn't abusive. It was loving, and it was the best, and I was great and so happy. And you know, my drug addiction, no, I wasn't using drugs. I barely drink. I just, you know, I get drunk easily, and I like to have fun, and my friends are doing it. I'm not a drug addict, like, no way. And with my eating disorder, no, I'm just healthy. I'm just like a fitness fanatic, like, and I'm super happy about everything, and everything's going great. It was like a play pretend thing that I did with each lifestyle, where I really truly pretended like, no, this is great. I'm doing great. And finally realizing, like, one, it's okay not to be doing okay. And two, I can't do this alone. And three, I have got to stop keeping these huge secrets from people because I'm just so unhappy. I need to let this out. I have to talk about this. And there's this saying that I learned in, you know, recovery, your secrets keep you sick, and it is the God honest truth. You keeping all of the things that are going wrong and that are not okay in your life, you keeping them inside and pretending like they're not happening, you're not helping yourself. You're literally doing the worst thing possible by keeping your secrets inside. Your secrets really do keep you sick. Basically what I'm saying is there's no reason that you need to do this alone, and there's so many people out in the world that are there for you. There is a community of people that are there for you who also struggle with OCD that literally will welcome you with open arms and be able to relate to you and tell their stories and share their tips, and you'll be able to be like, hey, this is normal. I'm not abnormal. It's normal not to feel okay sometimes. And there's professionals out there who have specific abilities to dig deep with you and help you heal on levels that you did not even think were possible. I didn't even know some of the things that I was doing and holding on to, and I had never faced them before, and now I feel so much more in control, and I understand myself so much better. I understand my OCD, I understand why it's there, I understand what it's trying to do to me, and I understand how to keep it in line so that it's down here. It's still there, but it's down here kind of like saying hi instead of being like in my face screaming all the time, which was like so, again, intrusive and obsessive. So to wrap this up, if you guys are interested in NOCD, I'm gonna leave the link down in the bio of this video. I highly recommend you just click onto the website, read a little bit, see what they're about. Every therapist is trained in ERP, or exposure therapy. This is a specific type of therapy in the cognitive behavioral therapy category. ERP works with patients to face their intrusive thoughts in a controlled and supervised environment, starting with those that are least uncomfortable and then working towards those that are more difficult. It is hands-on therapy where you take action at a pace that works for you, building up to releasing the OCD habits you hold in a sustainable and long-term way. It's sort of like a face your fears and build your mental strength type of method, unearthing your inner strength, because we all have it, we just don't use it, and it becomes weak. That was not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I don't know if I went in as in-depth as I wanted to. I always worry about these things, like, did I tell them enough? Did I word it correctly? Did I say something stupid? I don't know why I think that way, but I am very glad and very proud of myself for even talking a little bit about those things. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to leave me a comment here or email me. I'm always around. And if you can, subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And of course, as always, if you're interested in going plant-based, you can visit my website, StellaTheLight.com. You can read my full recovery story, you can read my blog, all my recipes, you can check out the reviews on my 30-day program and a ton of information on the program itself. And then if you hit that little contact me tab, you can tell me your story, your goals, your struggles, why you want to go plant-based, and I can help you get started from there. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you liked it, and I will hopefully see you for the next video.